I show up at the table again and again and again, and I close my mouth and learn to listen. Whoa, 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 whoa. I love that line. Chloe wrote that line. Chloe wrote that song. But I love that line, you know, to close your mouth and learn to listen and to show up at the table. I think so much of the work we do in social justice and racial justice, you know, it has to do with having uncomfortable conversations and feeling that discomfort and still showing up to be allies to one another, to figure out how to be in community, to figure out how to be in friendship, you know, and those relationships are where we strengthen, you know. And I think that image of just continuing to show up and continuing to be at the table and to be present in the conversations, you know, it's a really important reminder for me.
All songs come in different ways. Some come really fast, some take a long time to harness and get together. Resilient came out quickly and with a vengeance after the election and after Standing Rock, and it just felt really like a poignant moment that I wanted to express with a stripped away banjo, two vocals song that was really focused more on the lyrics than the musicality. And so it has a lot in there. You know, it has a lot about the struggles of our country, women and indigenous rights, and also just the interpretation of the power of community to uplift through those hard times.
I am resilient. I trust the movement. I negate the chaos. Uplift the negative. I'll show up at the table.
Resilient has been a really powerful anthem, I think, for us, and it's a song that was really birthed out of a lot of inspiration and a lot of struggle, really almost hopeless place. And it was a reminder that history is a long arc, it's a long trajectory, it's much wider than any of our lifespan, than any of our politics, you know. This whole spinning planet has a much larger trajectory than what we have access to knowing in our very short human life.
The word resilient has always stuck with me in such a beautiful way. It means to come back to one's original shape after being bent or broken or compressed. And so that word, just after saying it over and over and over and singing it over and over, it becomes sort of a mantra or an affirmation of all of our capacity and ability to do that when we need to, which we all need to be reminded of our strength in times.
Resilient was a reminder for us and for our audiences to really still hold a seed of faith and hope and power, and that there's power in community, there's power in the people. To divide and conquer, it's an old idea. It's the way that history has kept people oppressed. I think it was a reminder for us that we as a people, as a global people, can be resilient and can depend on one another and stand up for one another and really connect in a way where we can hold that seed of hope, you know, where we can come out of hardship, still really have belief, faith, love, empowerment, trust in one another.
There's a sort of untethered part of Resilient that gets everyone going every night when we sing it live, and it's the part that says, "My voice feels tiny, and I'm sure so does yours. Put us all together, make a mighty roar." Of course, we wrote that song to sort of insinuate that when everyone is put together, we can make a loud noise, we can make a lot of change, we can turn the tides of a situation. But really naturally, once we started singing it, the audience, as soon as we said roar, would just start roaring back at us. And it's pretty unprompted, which is so beautiful. Drop in the bucket and people are roaring and yelling and screaming and laughing and jumping up and down. And it's a really beautiful, rowdy, uplifting, poignant